Do you want to earn £1 million a day from property? Well, in this video, we'll reveal who exactly is doing just that. So for this property breaking news, we're looking at an article here in the Daily Mail. I'm joined to discuss what it's all about with my good friend, Andrew Roberts. Andrew, hi.
Hiya, Ranjan, and thank you. What a wonderful week we've had.
What a wonderful week. So is it you, is it me that's making £1 million in property?
I wish I was making £1 million a day.
£1 million a day. Anyway, we'll reveal that in a moment. But first of all, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon, because we put out new content each and every week, all dedicated to keeping you on top of your property investing game. And tell us what you think in the comments below. So, Andrew, the big reveal. Who is it that's making £1 million a day out of property, according to the Daily Mail?
According to the Daily Mail,
So
it
must be
is
true.
Lord Alan Sugar.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Now he talks about being in general business, and if you watch The Apprentice, it always talks about trading businesses and all of that.
Absolutely.
But this has actually all come out of his property business. Which is rather interesting. And I don't know whether, you probably know this, but obviously he started, Alan Sugar's history is he started with a trading business doing electronics and all of that.
I remember the good old Amstrad days.
The Amstrad days, and one of the things he did wrong, actually, well, he decided to buy Sinclair computers in the very late 80s, early 1990s. And I don't know if you know the story behind that, but he paid $150 million for Sinclair research. And within 3 years, that trading business was worth $5 million.
Well, I think it was down to the Sinclair C5. I mean, it was the precursor to the Tesla, but it didn't really quite take off, did it?
No, I think the Sinclair 5 was kept out of that thing. He just bought the computer business because everyone knew that was a turkey. But I think the point that Alan Sugar learned, because I actually spoke at an event with Alan Sugar way back in 2010.
Oh, name
I was
dropping now.
Well, yeah, I'll have to say this, but I was the speaker before Alan Sugar. It's kind of his warm-up act. But one of the things he was talking about was trading businesses can be risky. And there's sometimes when you think that you make a lot of money from trading businesses, and you think about reinvesting in those trading businesses, but actually it is too risky to do that. And that's why a lot of people who are successful in trading businesses choose to park that money in property.
Well, I certainly know a lot of people who invest their commercial profits in commercial property. So they're moving it from a trading business into an investment business. And Sir Alan Sugar did hit the headlines a few years back when he actually sold one of his commercial properties, and he made a ridiculous sum of money at that particular point in time. But I find it quite interesting that he runs The Apprentice, he talks about trading, but actually makes more money from his property investment business than he does from his trading businesses.
Exactly. He actually went for commercial property because commercial property is very simple to manage as a buy-to-let asset. The tenant is responsible for absolutely everything, and it's really relatively light touch as a buy-to-let investment. And a lot of people with trading businesses who are busy with those choose commercial property as a good store and a good income generator, as opposed to expanding their main businesses. But one thing Alan Sugar said at that talk, because he was talking about how he got started in commercial property and the kind of units he was buying. He said that he knew from Monopoly that places like Oxford Street, Regent Street, Bond Street were good places. So if it was on that end of the Monopoly board, that's where he would buy. And that's pretty much how he started his commercial property portfolio, which over the long haul has been a fantastic play for him. But I think what we're seeing now is the rewards from that, the rewards from doing that long-term play.
Yes.
And the rental returns that are coming from that now outstrip anything that he's done in the trading business.
Yeah. Well, outstrip, he is now I believe he's the world's second highest paid in terms of money paid out on a dividend and salary in a single
Yes.
year. In a single year. He was only beaten by another British firm, which was actually Denise Coates of Bet365, a gambling firm
Yes.
who hit 465 million last year. She hit the jackpot.
Yes, it says, Alan Sugar's paid himself 390 million in a dividend there for 1 year, and that's come out from his property business. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but what I wanted to really tell you about was what is the most exciting opportunity in property right now, and that is repurposing defunct commercial buildings to residential use. Now, most people don't really know where to start, what to look for, and how to exploit these opportunities, and that's why I've prepared 90 minutes of free training for you to get you started on this wonderful journey. You can register for this free training at property-workshop.com. Join me on that free training, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. So one of the great things about running a commercial buy-to-let portfolio as opposed to a residential buy-to-let portfolio, with residential buy-to-lets you've got so much cost and regulation and all of that, but with commercial it's light touch, and because it's full repairing, insuring lease, all the maintenance costs and everything are down to the tenant. So therefore it doesn't cost much to manage.
No, well, in Alan Sugar's instance, there is very little in terms of staff running the business that can afford to pay out a dividend as big as 390 million. But also, it only cost £2.6 million to run that business, and that's including all the staff. And if we look at the accounts, 502,000 of that was paid to the highest paid director. Now, that was probably Sir Alan Sugar himself.
One thing that I find amazing, I always like scrolling down to the comments, and they're quite diverse. You've got the people who are saying deserves every penny, one of the few big earners that actually pays tax, which he does. He's declaring a dividend, it's not offshore, all of this sort of stuff, he's paying tax on it. And he has, people are talking about how he's worked his way up from market trading. I mean, he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. And of course, there are also the lefty comments and all of that in here, which really try to pull him down just for the sake of being sort of successful. But this is a very strange psyche in the UK, don't you think? I mean, the guy started off from nothing. He barely finished school. He worked on the market trade, and purely from his own intellect and hard work, he's got to where he is. And there are people that knock him down for that.
Well, I think the UK is a weird sort of place. Entrepreneurs like ourselves, we work hard, we educate ourselves with knowledge in order to be able to seize opportunities. And that is exactly what Lord Sugar has done. On the other side of it, we have the other half of the UK who believe in acting like crabs. As you're trying to get out the pot, they pull you back into the crab pot. Now, if you've ever looked at a crab pot, the top is left open, and the fishermen don't lose crabs from the pot, because those who are of a negative mindset, oh, come back, keep us here, they're trying to pull him back. I don't think it's the right mindset. Being an entrepreneur, educating yourself and looking forwards is the right way to go.
So, are we talking crab? Let us know in the comments below. Also smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So this is what we find anyway, don't we? Because we work with a lot of business people, run a commercial property mastermind and stuff like that. And a lot of people with established trading businesses get to a point where they're making profits. And there comes a point where the returns from growing that trading business kind of diminish a little bit.
They absolutely do. I mean, it is the law of diminishing returns. So you've either got to diversify the business to reduce risk, but also increase returns, or you have to choose to do something else. And commercial property is the natural thing that business people typically get into. And it's what Lord Sugar has done. He's been transferring his activities from his trading businesses to his investment business.
Yes.
And it's starting to pay big dividends for him. No pun intended there.
So if you're running a business, perhaps you're running a trading business, doing some kind of other activity, and you're interested in getting into property. Commercial property is a very, very good home for that, as Alan Sugar has found out, and of course we know a lot about as well. If you want to find out more, I run a special 90-minute masterclass on commercial property and how that can help you. Sign up for the next one. The link is on the description below. Andrew, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much once again. It's been a delight and a pleasure debating how people are making money from commercial property.
And until next video, see you guys soon. Let us know what you think in the comments below. High streets across the land are changing forever. Basically, there's an oversupply of retail premises. Shops are closing down, more are going to close down in the future. The government know this, and that's why they're introducing a light touch planning system which allows small developers to easily repurpose these buildings to residential use under a light touch planning regime called permitted development. Now, this is going to be the biggest revolution and the biggest change and the biggest opportunity for property investors that I've ever seen. And this is all coming into effect on 1st of August. So you need to know what's happening and what properties to look for to take advantage of these opportunities so that you can get in there and take that first mover advantage. I've got a 90-minute free masterclass to get you ready for August the 1st. Make sure you join me, click the link below. Whether you're a beginner or expert, we'll get you started.